What's up, family? Hey, several years ago, I was on the Indian reservation and I was allowed to go through this spiritual process, 3 day fast, um, where I went and gathered some wood, made a makeshift tent, and gathered some sage, put it on the ground inside the tent, and went through a 3 day fast process where I sweated with my brothers and sisters and then went up on top of this hill and stayed there for 3 days. No eating, no drinking, no brushing your teeth, none of that stuff. You just there in this little tent. No books, nothing, just you. And you're just praying, singing, just dealing with some real stuff. And that was so crazy. It was crazy. And I'm not even going to talk about the things that I experienced in the video right now because it's mind-boggling, and unless you've grown some spiritually, you're not going to even comprehend what I'm talking about as far as astral traveling and just the whole dynamics of um, yeah, it was a lot. But I bring that up because one of the major things that I've discovered, and I knew it prior to that, but again, talking a lot about being verified, talking a lot about being tested and being shown where you're at. And it was amazing because um, the whole thing, as far as being there, was that there's no distractions. There's no distractions. It's just you. It's just you. You and your thoughts. You, your thoughts, God, source, whatever you want to call them. For the sake of the video, is God. It's just you, God, and your thoughts. There's nowhere to run. There's nothing else to do. And so you have to deal with some stuff. You're not going to have no choice but to deal with some stuff. Some deep rooted stuff. Why am I talking about this? Last night, I was facing a situation, and for some reason, let me get back to that situation. But for some reason, people think that, man, because all the stuff that I post, all the stuff that I say, that I never face anything, that I'm not going through anything, any personal challenges or anything of that nature, and it's like, that's so not true. You know what I mean? That's so not true. And it's like the more you grow, the more you get on, you make yourself public as far as trying to help other people in their spiritual growth and development, man, the more stuff you actually have to go through. I'm saying again, when you make yourself public, when you put yourself out there as far as sharing the things that you've learned, sharing the knowledge, the wisdom, understanding that you have, and you're trying to help others on their path, you're going to have to face and you're going to deal with a lot more stuff just because of what you're doing, just because of the path that you're on. And for some reason, we have this twisted concept of spirituality and enlightenment where everything's perfect, everything's great, everything's peachy king, once you get in, and it's like, no, quite opposite, because now you're gonna have to deal with all the stuff you've been running away from. Anyways, last night I'm facing the situation and dealing with the situation. And I remembered there's a phrase in the Bible where it says, where Jesus was out on a storm, or the disciples was out on a storm in a boat, and Jesus got up and he was asleep during the whole storm, and they woke him up, tripping, scared, frantic, and stuff. And he got up and just walked out and just like, peace, be still. And the storm calmed down. And while I was on this trip, while when I say trip, while I was on this Indian reservation during my 3-day fasting, that became so crystal clear to me of what actually transpired. You know, and what I mean by what actually transpired was I was going through so much stuff on that fast, and the trip is everything that we go through is all mental. I'm saying again, everything that we go through, it's all mental. The physical pain, everything, it don't matter. Everything we go through, it's all mental. And so when he said, peace be still, and everything calmed around him, it was crazy because as I was on this fast, all the stuff that I was dealing with, all the craziness of what I was perceiving to be happening around me, the physical pain, just everything that I was going through, I was told it's all in my head. It's all in your head. And once I truly grasped that, and it's like, it's all in my head. And it's like, it is all in my head. And I would speak it out, whatever it is I was dealing with, and it's boom. The problem ceased to exist. It was done. It was gone. It was over. Except for the last night. The last night, it was hell. It was hell. It was the hardest thing I've ever went through. It was hell. I was, what's the word I'm looking for? My body was cramping up real bad. I was completely dehydrated. Completely dehydrated. I've gone longer than 3 days on a fast, no eating, no drinking, none of that stuff. But understand, prior to this fast, we was in a sweat lodge and was sweating, you know, and so that took a lot of the nutrients and energy and stuff that I had out prior to even walking up the little hill at nighttime to go start my fast. And that began fasting prior to that, just preparing myself spiritually for this event. And so I was completely dehydrated, completely just a shell. I couldn't even stand up without a walking stick. I had no energy, none. And so, but that last night was the worst night of all them. Again, you're sleeping on the ground. It was hard ground. It was cold. It was March. And it was like, and just it being in March was right around Easter. It was so I don't know if it was the end of March, beginning of April, or what, I can't remember, but it was right before or right after Easter. And it was crazy because that was so important as far as spring. I'm coming out new. I went in this caterpillar, came out this butterfly. I went in this dying phoenix, came out renewed, rejuvenated, completely new. And it's weird because the pain that I went through had me shook to my bones. To the point I literally thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to freeze to death. I literally thought I was going to die because of the pain that my body was going through. And there was nothing that I could do to eliminate the pain. And so if you've ever been completely dehydrated to where your calves start, your toes start cramping up, then your calves start cramping up, then your hamstring, and then your glutes, and your stomach, your arms, everything was locking up on me. And I'm in a tiny tent. There's really not a whole lot of room. You can't stand up in it. And so I was hurt. I was broken. The morning came. They came, opened up the tent, let me out. Took me a while to get out because I had to crawl out and grab a stick to pull myself up on and to be able to stand up and to be able to just gather myself. Peace, be still. Last night, as I was going through what I was dealing with, I remembered that. Peace, be still. And as I spoke that, it was like this calm, this peace. It was like, you don't have to trip about anything. Tripping about anything is a choice. Getting worked up on anything is a choice. Going left and getting mad, getting bothered about anything is a choice. We choose that. We can also choose peace. We can also choose to be still. See, in the past, whenever I was dealing with stuff, I would cut off everybody. I would cut everybody out of my life except for my kids because I was a single parent for the most part. And so I would go into my little cave and try to resolve whatever it was that I was dealing with. And I pushed a lot of people away in the process. A lot of people that just had my best interest and they didn't know what I was going through. They didn't know what I was dealing with. And they were just trying to help me. But because of my issues, I pushed everybody away because I had to resolve whatever it is that I was dealing with. And I didn't want to talk to nobody. And I'm sharing that because we have to learn how not to push people away that genuinely, truly love us and that have our best interest at heart because of the issues we're dealing with. We have to be able to learn that, okay, you know what? And we have to calm ourselves and to be able to differentiate between those that really have our best interest and those that are just on the ride for whatever they could get and those that are there just to cause chaos. And so, and when you're in the midst of the storm, you can't really always tell the difference. You're frantic, and most of the time we get paranoid and we just start reacting and we just and out of defense mechanism, we kick everybody off the boat. You know what I mean? Because we don't know who to trust. And since we don't know who to trust, we just like, boom, go, 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 you know? We're throwing everybody overboard. And then after we realize, it's like, dang, I didn't have to do that. I really didn't have to do that. Dang. I've hurt some good people in the process of trying to deal with my stuff. Dang. I didn't mean to come across that way. I didn't mean to hurt that person that way. But because I didn't know how else to react, I didn't know how else to respond to the situation, I just threw everybody overboard because I need my time, my space. My hope and prayer is that when you're going through whatever it is that you go through, you learn to first and foremost calm yourself without causing more harm to other people by throwing them overboard, by kicking them to the curb in a self-defense mechanism of trying to help yourself. That you know don't create more karmic debt. Don't cause more pain to others because in the process you're causing more pain to yourself. Peace. Be still. I love you guys.